What is Guanin, peeps? What is Guanin? It's Valerie's Naturals, aka Valerie's Naturals Oracles. How you doing? Do you know what? Back in the day, I used to do cooking videos because guess what? If you didn't know, I'm vegan. So I cook up a vegan feast, usually on a Sunday, and it lasts me for a couple of days. I do like food prepping because I always make too much. But today I'm going to make some rice and peas, and I'm kicking off rice and peas with a sweet potato chickpea coconut curry to go with it. But I like to do my rice and peas Jamaican style-y, but I ain't got the patience. Now I do have a pressure cooker for the peas, but I ain't got the patience for it, people. So what I do is I get these peas. I like the small ones. You can use kidney beans or whatever, but this is a quick way of doing it, and I have got a rice cooker, so I just do it all in the rice cooker instead of sitting over the stove. Do you know what I'm getting? And it saves you time and money as well, and it will never burn if you do it in a rice cooker. No, that's not true. If you left it for hours, and then yes, it would do, but 9 times out of 10, once it's finished cooking, it just sits on a warm. So what I'm going to do is, here's the ingredients I use. Now this is authentic Jamaican, but I'm just doing it quick style. So just imagine the peas were already cooked, okay? You'd add all the ingredients in afterwards. So here's what I've got here. I've got all-purpose seasoning. I put this into the rice itself. So I haven't got a Scotch bonnet. Normally I would have used a Scotch bonnet, but I couldn't get hold of it. So I've got a chili pepper instead. I've got scallion or spring onion. I've got garlic. I've got my own thyme plant. Let me show you. There it is. So I've got my plant there. So I've cut off some of the leaves off of it because it grows back. I've also got aduki beans. I've got salt and pepper, all-purpose, and I've got little tins of coconut milk because I don't like too much of the coconut in there. And if you're in the UK, you can actually get hold of this in I think it was B&M I bought them. They used to do them free for £1, but it was a while I bought these. So, you know, I don't know how much they are now, but these are the small ones. I do have the big ones as well. They used to do the big ones free for £1, but I'm finding they did these free for £1 at a time. So the big ones, they was doing them for 69p. It's the cheapest place I found coconut milk. So this is what I use. So I'll be back, peeps, when all the ingredients is in the pot, and I'll show you. And then we'll move on to the actual curry itself that's going to go with this. And you might even see how I make coleslaw as well, because I'm vegan. I make vegan coleslaw, and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I'll be back, peeps. Go on, peeps, I'm back. I'm just showing you all the ingredients in the pot, and what I've done is cut off the top of that chili. I've got my thyme in there. I've got my spring onion or scallion. I've got my garlic in there. I've put 2 cloves of garlic in there. I've put all-purpose seasonings, black pepper and salt. And I'll be back, peep. I just wanted to just show you what it's looking like before it boils up, because it's going to boil up, and I'm going to keep it rolling on a boil for a little while in this pot, and then I'll add the rice. Because I've actually used tin peas, and they're called aduki peas. I used to get them from Tesco's, but it looks like Tesco's not doing them anymore, because I wanted to add it to my shopping list, because I didn't want to do that. I mean, I've got a pressure cooker and I can cook the peas, but I do like the small peas. They used to call them cow peas, but they in Tesco's they call them aduki beans. Aduki. So I'm gonna have to go hunting for them now and have to pressure cooker them. But anyway, so this is the quick way of doing rice and peas. Okay, I'm putting all the ingredients that will normally go in there, but it's just that it's going to be a quick hurry come up cooked situation. So I'm going to wash my rice and add that on, and then I'll go on to my curry, because again, because I'm vegan, I don't do the meat thing. So it's a quick process, and I'm going to do it in my pressure cooker this time because it's so quick. Okay, so I'll be back, people, with the rice. What is Guanin, peeps? So we've got a rolling boil on it now. Do you see how dark it's got with those tinned aduki beans, or if you want to call it cow peas? Can you see everything just melting into it? I wish you could smell already how this smells, and it's in my rice cooker. This is the one I've got. Okay, so I'm about to pour in the coconut milk, and what I do is, it's a tin one, so it's already done, separated. If you was in Jamaica though, you'd make your own coconut milk with a coconut, but we don't have that luxury in the UK. So I'm going to pour in this whole tin. Okay, give it a mix and let it carry on with the rolling. Carry on with the rolling, rolling, So do you see it's changed it immediately? But once it boils up again, okay, then it will change the colour again. But do you see all my seasonings in there? I'm excited because it smells fantastic in here, and I can smell the coconut. Now I'll put the coconut in there. That's even better. So it's going to carry on with a continuous roll. And so I thought I'd show you, because I forgot to show that ingredient, but I've got the rice here and I've washed it now. So here's my rice, and this is the rice I'm using now. People, I can't stress this enough. If you're one of those people that is always cooking rice, why are you buying the little packets? Buy the big one. It saves money, time and energy, and it lasts a while, especially if you're by yourself. But here is the washed rice, and some people's going to ask, how much rice do I use? Well, I eyeball it. Yes, I'm so used to cooking rice and everything else. If you're from a Jamaican household, you're so used to it. You just eyeball everything, okay? But if you just starting off and maybe you were just cooking plain rice, you do maybe 1 cup to every 2 cups of water. That is the one. But what you can also do is if you're cooking rice again, you could put your thumb in, put the water in, put your thumb in, and if it comes to the crease, like, so I'm going to show you. So if it comes to this crease here, okay, that's a good way to measure if you've got enough water in it. Okay, but this is my washed rice. I'm just waiting for the rolling boil. People, do you see this? I'm giving it another stir again. Do you see this, people? Oh, I can't wait, because if you smell the smells in here, you'll be like, what the hell? So I'm going to add the rice, leave that alone, let it cook itself, and leave it in the rice cooker. And then I'm going to go to my curry. So I'll show it to you when it's actually, I'm adding the rice, and I'm not going to do that with one hand, so I'll probably add the rice first and then show you, and then I'll show you the completed product. But then I'm going to go over and do the curry. So, anyway, I'll be back, peeps. Just running. I'm back, people. I've just added my rice. Did you see that whole truckload of rice I had? And I'm just stirring it in now. And usually, because I don't like my rice sticking, and I didn't mention earlier, okay, when you're washing your rice, wash it and keep washing it till it runs clear. So you're washing out, the science behind it is, if you don't like rice sticking together, wash it till it goes clear, because you're washing out the starch. It's the starch that makes the rice stick, okay? And that's the science behind it. But I wash my rice till it's clear, and then I add it to the pot. And because we're Jamaicans, you know, the Jamaicans can identify with this. You don't even measure it out. You just eyeball it. So now, because I've got it in a rice cooker, it's going to be perfect every single time. But if you was doing this on the stove and it's rice and peas, okay, a lot of Jamaicans, they put tin foil over it and then put the lid on it to trap in the heat, to make it steam. So cook up and steam, so it's perfect rice. But I don't need to do that because I'm doing it in a rice cooker. It'll be perfect every time, regardless. I mean, not to say that I can't cook it on the stove. Of course I can. I can make it perfect on the stove too. But rice cooker's so much quicker, so much simpler, and it's there, and it keeps it warm, and it doesn't burn it. Not for hours anyway. So I'm going to put the top on this, because if you notice with this steamer, it's got like a little hole in it there. And as soon as it steams up, I can turn it down here, because there's a lot of controls here that you can turn it down, okay? So I'm going to leave that alone now. Turn it down when it boils up. When it boils up with the rice in it, I'll turn it down. It will cook, and it'll be cooked in 20 minutes, okay? And I'm hoping by then my curry will be done, but I'm still going to make a coleslaw as well. So I'll be back, peeps. Curry time. What is Granny, peeps? What is Granny? Here is the current progress with the rice. It's not quite finished there, but it's getting there. That looks like I took hours to cook that, didn't it? Anyway, I'm going to go on to the curry. So, here's the ingredients I'm going to use now. The first thing I would always use is what I call the Holy Grail. And that is my onion, my spring onion, my garlic, and my chili. But normally I would have had a Scotch bonnet, but I couldn't get hold of that. The other fresh ingredient is my sweet potato, which I'm going to chop up and put in there. I don't know if I'm going to use all of that though, because if you see the rest of the ingredients, because what's next, once I've done this and I put this in, I've also got the chickpeas. This is a part of the curry. This is the chopped tomatoes, the whole lot. This is like a fling in coconut milk. This is the large tin this time. And then I've got, do you know what, I've forgotten that I didn't have any mushrooms, so I'm using the backup, which is the tin ones, and they're perfectly fine. Here's the seasonings I'm going to use, okay? It's a big array of them, but do you know what, essentially all you need is, for me, it's curry powder, it's turmeric, it's cumin, it's coriander. These are the things you should be using. But I'm just gone overboard because I like it with a kick with the chilies and that ground allspice is just nothing but pimento grounded. Okay, if you can't get hold of pimento seeds, use these. But I've got the kale, I've got the crushed pepper, I've got the turmeric, I've got cumin. This is what you need. And because with the curry, and you'll see it in a minute though, curry you should always fry it off with your other these ingredients, your holy grail. Once you put these in and they've cooked up for a little bit, add your curry before you add anything else to burn off the curry. Because I don't know if you know, people, if you don't do that, and I don't know if even Jamaicans are aware of this, it can give you run belly. And then after that, what I've got here is the bulking out, what I call the bulking out, which is I've got frozen stuff here. You don't need to go crazy with the fresh stuff, because especially if you live by yourself as well, there's no point. This is spinach, that is cauliflower and broccoli, and that's just mixed veg. Do you know, that's just the stuff to bulk it out. So this is the whole thing, and all it is, people, is a throw in. You're just throwing everything in. But you'll see all that, okay? So I'll be back, peeps. Just going in, peeps. I'm back. I've chopped up all my ingredients. I've got the red onion, I've got the spring onion, I've got the actual pepper cut up, I've got garlic. So I'm going to add these in the pot, let them cook for a while, and add the curry so it burns off the curry a little bit, and then we can just fling everything in the pot and cook. But just to let you know, I'm using my pressure cooker today. This pressure cooker is called the Pressure King Pro. I've had it for years. It's fantastic, and it's on the browning setting. The only reason why I'm using my pressure cookers today is because I can do it at a fraction of the time. By the time the rice is finished cooked, because we're more or less there with the rice, this would cook together, and then all I've got to do is make my little accompaniments. I'm thinking a little chopped up salad and or coleslaw. I don't know which one to do, but I will tell you. I was talking about coleslaw, but anyway, add your oil, or if you don't cook with oil, sometimes I don't cook with oil, I'll just add the ingredients in, and I can get away with this because this is non-stick. But add your ingredients in and a little bit of water so it's got something to cook in. And then I'll be back, peeps, when I start throwing things into the pot, okay? I'm going to add this in now so you can see it. And then I'll be back later to show you when I start adding stuff in, okay? So bear with me, collective. It's going in, peeps. Now it's cooked down a little bit. And do you know what I forgot? I forgot the sweet peppers. I've got all the colours of the rainbow and I forgot to put it in. But it doesn't matter. We can add that afterwards if you want to, but I don't really need it, to be honest. So we're at that stage where we're adding the curry powder. So I'm going to add some curry powder to this. Bear with me, peeps. So it sweats off and it burns off with the actual... Oh, sorry. Okay, so it burns off. So this is the whole basis because it's a curry. So let's give it a mix in. I haven't actually used... Oops, sorry, people. Let's hope it doesn't stop steaming. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, I haven't actually used oil. I've used water. So what I do is every now and then is add a little bit of water so it doesn't burn. But I don't really want the oil factor. So I put a little bit of that in there so it doesn't burn. And you can smell that curry coming up. But I think I need a little bit more. Okay, so... And then after that we can start dumping things in. Let me put a bit more curry in there. And you want it to sweat off and burn off. Okay, so there you go. I don't want to go crazy though, because we can add more, but you can't take it away. You can add, but you can't take it away. So because I'm going to add turmeric to this as well, which is a curry like some consistency. So I'll be back when I'm chucking things in, okay? Just let that sweat off a little bit, then I'll start chucking in all the other ingredients, okay? I'll be back, peeps. And look at my rice. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It smells so good. I'll be back. I'm back, peeps. I've added in all the frozen ingredients and my sweet potato on top of this. So this is the broccoli, the cauliflower, the actual frozen peas, and the frozen spinach. Can you see that? It's still frozen, but it doesn't matter because we're doing this in a pressure cooker. So I'm just going to chuck the rest of the ingredients in, and the next situation will be to season it before I actually pressure cook it. So next goes in the actual chickpeas that's going with this situation. Okay, give that a quick mix. Okay, mix it in good. I know this looks like a lot, but what happens is I spread it out. It's like I'm doing a food prep really, but that's what it is. So that's mixed in. So next comes the tomato. Okay, so I'm going to add a whole tin of chopped tomatoes. You're going to probably find that you don't need sometimes to add liquid to this afterwards, okay? And that's my pressure cooker saying it's time to get back on the browning setting. So mix that in too. And what I'm going to do is come back, let that cook in for a bit, because chopped tomatoes sometimes need to be cooked in, and then I'll add the coconut milk, which is going to be a whole tin, because it's a coconut curry. So I'll be back, people, when that's sorted. Guanin peeps, what is guanin? I'm back, and this is the state we're at now that I've actually let the chopped tomato cook in a bit. It's time to add the coconut, and this is the point. The coconut and the mushrooms, because it's tin mushrooms. I usually use either frozen or fresh, but I didn't have that, so I had the tin ones as a backup. I always have the backup because I love mushrooms. So I'm adding mushroom. I know it seems like a lot, but you don't have to. You could just use what's in your cupboard. You could use whatever you got, but I've just happened to have these situations here. So I'm going to add the coconut milk next, okay? Add the coconut milk, and then I'm going to add my mushrooms, and this is the point where you add all your seasonings, and you can determine whether you want a dark curry or a light curry. So you can see the kind of curry that I've put in already is actually colouring it, but it looks like it might need more. And it's also the point where I put in the turmeric. So let's add the coconut milk. And it's the same one, but it's a bigger version. It's the bigger tin, okay? And let's give that a mix and see how much more curry we need to put in here. So I think I need to add more, but I'm going to put turmeric in there. And it looks like also that I might not add any more water. So what normally happens is if there's not enough juice, well, in this case there is, if there's not enough juice, then what happens is you add a little bit more water, and then I add a vegetable stock because I'm vegan. But I'm going to add my mushrooms. So I've got tinned sliced mushrooms because I love mushrooms in my stuff. Come on, get out. I want every last one. So I'm mixing that in now. Okay, and this is where the point where you add all your seasonings and you get it to the colour that you want. Now, it looks a bit light at the moment, but because I'm cooking it in a pressure cooker, it's actually going to be... And you do exactly the same. By the way, you do exactly the same thing. It just takes a little bit longer to cook, that's all. So, just because I'm doing a cooker pressure, it might take a little bit more. And as you can see from the settings there, okay, it goes to it browns for 3 minutes and shut off, then you have to shut it back on again. But I'm almost at the stage where I'm just going to cook it, and then you can see the final results, okay? So I'm going to add all my seasonings that I showed you previously. I'm not going to bore you with adding them one by one because I'm doing this with one hand. And then we'll be back and you'll see the finished product, okay? I've added all the ingredients, it's just the seasoning now, okay? So I'll be back. What I want, Pete. So we're at the stage where we're going to put the pressure cooker on. Now, depending on what you did, you could put a teaspoon. And by the way, when you put turmeric in there, only put maybe a teaspoon, because any more than that, it will make it bitter, okay? Add more curry by all means, but don't add any more turmeric, okay? So this is ready to be pressure cooked. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because basically I just want to cook the sweet potato. But it might take a little bit long. And all it is waiting for the sweet potato because everything else is cooked. So if you was to do this on the stove, you do exactly the same thing. And I forgot my bloody sweet peppers as well. I forgot the sweet peppers, and I've added in thyme as well, my fresh thyme as well, which I forgot at the base because that's part of the base. But anyway, it's easy to forget things, isn't it? So this is ready to be pressure cooked, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like, because next I'm going on to my vegan coleslaw. So I'll be back, peeps. What is guanin, peeps? What is guanin? So we're at the last stage now. I've got my pot going there, and I've got my pressure cooker going there, and here is my coleslaw. This is how I make my coleslaw. It's really simple, because a lot of people think, how can you make vegan coleslaw? Wow! You get the vegan mayo, alternative to mayonnaise. You get what I'm giving collected. But everybody knows how to make coleslaw. It's just cabbage, carrots, and whatever you add in. I like to have onions and sweet peppers. I'll add black pepper with the mayonnaise, and sometimes just crushed chili. Sometimes people put mustard in theirs as well, and I have tried it with mustard, but I'm not that keen on with the mustards. It has to be in a particular way, because you'd have to add like vinegar and all sorts of stuff to actually smooth that out as well. But if you like the kick, go for it. But these ingredients are just, all they are is chop it up and add them in to your taste, and then that's it. So when I come back, you're going to see the whole finished plate of food, because this is nothing. I don't want to insult people's intelligence by just not showing what I'm doing with this. You know what I mean? It's just chopping it up and you're putting it in a pot and adding all the rest of the ingredients. That's it. Anyway, I'll be back with the finished plate, okay? Running people, we're getting to the final stages now. You know, I just have to say this: if I wasn't recording this would have taken me all of half an hour. With the peas, I don't have to pressure cook or have to cook for hours. With the actual curry that is vegan, so I don't have to think about meat. And now this is my coleslaw. Now, just another side note, some people like to grate their carrot in their coleslaw, but I like to what I call julienne, and how I do it is with a potato peeler, because it makes it really thin, but then you can chop it how you want afterwards. I think the grater in with the cabbage, because I've used Chinese leaf cabbage today, but if you're a Jamaican, most Jamaicans have cabbage. It's either red or green cabbage, but I had in my cupboard or my fridge Chinese leaf, because I made some coleslaw earlier on in the week. But this is Sunday, so I've added my sweet peppers, which I should have added to my curry, but never mind, we've got it in our coleslaw. That's red pepper. I only used maybe half of the red pepper, and I've chopped it up really fine. There's the carrot, and there's the cabbage underneath. Now this is before I add the actual mayonnaise and the rest of the dry seasonings, which I've got here. Some people like to add other ingredients. You do what you need to do, but I'm just showing you what I do, and I'm going to mix this back up and come back, and so you can see the finished product, and then you will see my finished dinner, what I'm going to sit down and eat, because I'm hungry now. I'm hungry. I'll be back, peeps. I'm back, peeps, and this is the finished product of the curry. Do you see how soft and succulent that sweet potato has got? How you can see the spinach and the chickpeas going through it, and how the colour of the actual curry has changed, because remember, it's a coconut curry. Okay, so I'll be back with the final product of my coleslaw and the final plate, okay? I'll be back, peeps. I've mixed it all together. I did all my rest of my ingredients, which is the no mayo mix for vegans, and I've added in black pepper, a little tiny bit of salt, because I thought it needed salt, but you don't have to add salt if you don't want to. I've just got some Himalayan salt here, and I added a little bit of crushed chilies because I want a kick in my coleslaw. So this is what my coleslaw is looking like. I've done it a bit chunkier because I like it chunky, but if I was doing it for other people, I might do it a little bit finer. But this is for me, so I'll be back with the final plate, and I could actually do this in separate videos, one for coleslaw, one for rice, one for everything, but I'm going to show you the final product of it on my plate because I'm hungry. I'll be back, peeps, with the final plate. What is guanim, peeps? What is guanim? I'm back with the final plate. Can you see all the steam coming off of it? But this is what my final plate looks like. I hope you enjoyed me doing this, and if you did, please thumbs up, like, share, follow, subscribe wherever you see this, because I used to do these recipes, but I stopped doing it for a long time. But I'm back in the groove, people. I'm back in the groove. So this is what it is. This is what it looks like. I'm going to give you a close-up of the rice. Take some, eat some. There you go. There's your portion. There's the coleslaw. I like it chunky, as you know. And there is the actual curry. So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care till next time. And I'm going to get my eat on because I'm hungry, as I keep saying. Take care. And don't forget to share and like and follow, okay? Bye-bye for now, people.